Hi everyone. Here it's Monday. I'm filming. I'm actually going to film 2 videos because I'm going to be on vacation. So I wanted to show you guys, this was last week's painting and it's dry. Sorry about the glare. It's kind of cloudy here today, so I have my lights on. So yeah, had some really cool parts of this. I'm not crazy how the black kind of interacted with the colors. And probably my fault because I probably had them a little bit on the thin side. So just keep that in mind when you're working with black as your background. You kind of have to have them a little bit towards the thicker side so that the black doesn't swallow everything up. Today I've been playing around with some of these, I think Jen Neal is the one I've been watching do. They're called blooms, I think she calls them. I just did this one because I wanted to see if I like the color combination. So they're pretty cool. They're basically a Dutch pour, but done a little bit differently. So I'm going to show you that today. And I, of course, do mine a little bit different than she does hers. So, you know, you can play around with this. It's not anything that's set in stone as far as how the technique goes. My colors today I'm using are going to be Arteza Phalo Green, the Flokart 24 karat, which I have mixed with other things because from personal preference, I think it's too bright, the 24 karat gold. I like my golds a little bit on the darker side. So I added, I think, some bronze to it, and I added some 14 karat gold to it. So it's kind of a mix. Just if you're wondering if it doesn't look as bright as the 24 karat, normally that's why. I have Flokart malakite, which is a really pretty green, but it's metallic. So really pretty, on the cool side, but it has some warmth to it. And then I have Morning Pansy, which is one of Christina Welch's colors. And it has a little bit of a shimmer in it also. So I have 3 colors that have some shimmer and some metallic in them. The phthalo green does not. I just wanted that as a little bit of a, trying to keep the colors on the cool side because greens and purples are next to each other on the color wheel. So they're pretty compatible, but I just wanted to make sure I stayed on the cooler side because the purple is a cooler purple. It's got a little bit of warmth to it, but it's on the, purples are always on the cool side. So I have 4 colors and then I have my white. And I have mixed some of this glazing medium to my colors. Now, this is a little bit different than what she does too, but I've been experimenting, and so far they've come out good. I haven't had any cracking. I just add that to make sure there's no cracking. This one I did, it's just a cute little flip cap, actually. I put it in a bottle cap and flipped it, and then I did some swirlies in it. So I think that's going to be our second video today. I'm going to show you how I did that because I came up with a few little cool techniques that I did with the white on that one. Anyhow, I'm getting, again, my ADD, sorry. So I added some of this glazing medium. I just put a little bit on top of the colors, and my colors I took straight from my bottles. So they have the glue all in them and the floetrol in them. And then I added the glazing medium just to make sure, because you're thinning the paints down, that you don't get cracking and crazing. So I did that, and then I thinned them down with a little bit of my mixture of 90% floetrol and 90% water, 10% floetrol. So it's not straight water to thin those down. And they're pretty thin consistency. When I move my stick back and forth, you know, a lot of people do that, and that's good. But for me, it's more about how does it feel when I'm stirring it. the consistency of it. So I'm getting a little bit of resistance still. It doesn't just fly back and forth in the cup. So that's how I want them to be. I want them to be really thin, on the thin side. There's no mound. It actually creates a divot when it goes down. But there's still a little bit of resistance when you go back and forth in the cup. Okay. If you thin them out too much, then you're just going to get a watery mess. So I have this is a little 8x8 canvas. I do not tape my canvases. I'm really bad. I tape them before if I'm going to resin them. And I have my base color, which is, I switched to, because they were out of Artist Loft Flow White, I switched to the titanium white. So I have that in here with some little bit of glue, floetrol, and some water. So I've got that thinned down. Just going to put that on my canvas. Something else that she does that I really liked is she saves her white, which is such a smart idea. We go through so much white. I think I've filled this thing up doing canvases in the last couple of days 3 or 4 times. So I've been working on tiles actually for trivets, but really smart idea, Jen Neal, to put your white, save as much of it as you can. It doesn't always go back in there, but it's a good idea. Just going to help that last corner along there. Okay. And you don't really have to worry too much about the sides. You know, you can run your fingers around, make sure you got all the sides covered, but you can always go back and touch this up since it's just going to be pure white, and the sides don't get much dripping on them. Kind of like Rinska Downa, she keeps the flour on the canvas, which isn't a lot of it runs over. Okay, so I'm just using my torch to pop the bubbles. And I'm going to start with a puddle pour. I'm going to start with my purple. And because you're not working on a huge surface, you don't need a lot of paint. I'm going to go with the phthalo green. That was the pansy, morning pansy, I think it's called. Yeah, morning pansy. And that was the phthalo. And then I'm going to add some of this malakite, which again has that metallic to it. And then the gold, I usually just drizzle the gold over and through. All right, I also have some of my base white that I took straight from the container. I added some of the Glazing Medium to it, and I'm just going to pour that around just like you're doing a Dutch pour. All right. Now this is where I'm a little bit different from what I've seen other people do. Most people start blowing at this point, just blowing out the petals. But I like to cover it, kind of like you would do with a blow dryer. But I'm going to do it with my straw. So I'm just going to get down to the level of the canvas so that I'm blowing straight across the paint. If you're up here, you're going to blow the paint. So try and get down. See where you can see that white just covers the paint. And I like to get as much of it covered as I can, because that way you get more of the cells. There's no silicone or anything in this, so you're just getting cells from the paint. Okay, I'm going to go one more section here. All right, so Got a cool little design going on in there already. Got lots of cells going on. I want to hit that with the torch a little bit, since I didn't before I covered it and put all my paint on. Okay, so now I'm going to start blowing out my petals. Okay, so there's one. And use your breath control with when you're using your straw. You don't have to blow really hard. Start out gentle, use more force if you need to, but it really helps if you try to control how much air comes out of the straw. And tap it every once in a while, because sometimes you get saliva in there. I'm going to try and get 5 petals. There's 3. I did the experiment before I started filming because I wanted to do green and purple together, because I love green and purple together. But I wasn't sure how the gold was going to interact with the purple, because gold is a yellow. So sometimes you can get mud if you get yellow and purple mixing. But I liked it, so I'm going ahead with it. And I'm happy because I think it's really pretty. Okay, that is gorgeous. Gorgeous like it is. I'm very happy. I think I'm going to blow this one petal out just a little bit more, torch it, and we're done. I'll give you guys a close-up. If you have too much white up here that you're not happy with, you can come down a little bit lower and blow that paint up into that. So I'm going to do that a little bit. And then blow it out. Sometimes you have to go back in and re-blow the petals because they have a tendency to want to come back to the middle. But I am very happy with that. That is very pretty. I love that phthalo green in there because it almost gives a blue. It's almost a blue-green. Okay, guys, so that is my version of the bloom. So please like, subscribe, and share. We are up to, I believe, 233, 234. So we are very close to our 250. Like I said, I am going to be on vacation for a week. So hopefully when I get back from my vacation, we are up to our 250 and I can do a subscriber giveaway for you guys. That will be fun. I'm going to give, I love these little cells here, so I don't want to totally disturb them, but just wanted to give that a little blow there. So you just need to keep an eye on it, watch it, look for, you know, if it's puddling back in the center. You can also go in and swirl. I did with that other one because there was a big glop of gold in there. So I kind of blew it in and then went back in the swirl with the swirl. But I really like this center. The center is really pretty. I don't need to do anything to it. So here's a close-up. I just love those purples and greens together. One of my favorite combinations. All right, guys. Have a great week. I will see you in a few minutes because I'm going to do another video for you. Of course, you won't get it till the next week, but have a great one. I'll see you soon. Bye.